Books hold knowledge, but some hold far more than that. Power, danger, and mystery. These are the books that legends warn us to fear. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pantheon mythology, where today we're asking, why are these books so dangerous? If you too want to be something that legends warn us about, check out Pantheon Apparel, our clothing brand inspired by legends from around the world. We ship worldwide and are rated excellent on Trustpilot. Link in the description. Shh, we're in a library. We begin with a book that has both fascinated and terrified readers for centuries, the Shams al-Ma'arif, or the Book of the Son of Gnosis. Written in the 13th century by Ahmad ibn Ali al-Buni, this grimoire is one of the most infamous texts in Islamic mysticism. It is often described as a gateway to forbidden knowledge, containing secrets that are as alluring as they are dangerous. Ahmad al-Buni was a practitioner of Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam that seeks a deeper personal connection to God. His work reflects this spiritual perspective but ventures into esoteric practices considered forbidden by many. Ahmad lived during the Ayyubid period in Egypt in 12th to 13th century, a time of intellectual and spiritual flourishing. He was a scholar of Ilm al-Huruf, or the science of letters, which assigns mystical and numerical significance to Arabic letters, believed to hold divine power and cosmic truths. The Shams al-Ma'arif was his most famous work. It combines Islamic theology with esoteric practices, offering detailed instructions on using letters, numbers, and celestial forces to achieve specific outcomes. Its focus on summoning spiritual entities and crafting talismans placed it in a realm of controversy. The book is well known for using magic squares, grids where numbers are arranged so that the sums of rows, columns, and diagonals are identical. These squares are believed to act as conduits for spiritual power, said to summon jinn, or angels, to assist the practitioner. In Islamic tradition, jinn are supernatural beings created from smokeless fire, mentioned in the Quran alongside humans and angels. They possess free will, meaning they can be benevolent, neutral, or malevolent. The text is infamous for its instructions on summoning and controlling jinn, a practice seen as spiritually dangerous. According to legends, improperly summoning jinn or doing so with impure intentions can result in disaster, as malevolent jinn are said to wreak havoc on the summoner's life. The book also delves into Ilm al-Huruf, focusing on the mystical and numerical significance of Arabic letters. When combined into specific inscriptions, they are said to create talismans that provide protection, attract wealth, or influence unforeseen forces. The text incorporates astrology as well, explaining how the positions of planets and stars amplify the successes of rituals and enhance spiritual energy. The Shams al-Ma'arif is regarded as dangerous for several reasons. Its rituals are intricate and demand absolute precision. Any deviation from the prescribed methods is believed to invite catastrophic consequences, including spiritual corruption, summoning hostile entities, or even madness. Its teachings on manipulating spiritual forces have long been condemned by Islamic scholars. Practices like summoning jinn and crafting talismans are seen as haram, or forbidden, because they rely on supernatural forces rather than trust in God. Historical anecdotes amplify its fearsome reputation, with stories of those who attempted its rituals only to suffer dire outcomes. Misuse of the text, whether due to ignorance or arrogance, is said to lead to dangerous, often fatal results. Next, we turn to one of the most infamous grimoires in Western occultism, the Key of Solomon. While Solomon himself is said to have wielded divine wisdom to command spirits, scholars believe the book was written much later, during the Italian Renaissance around the 14th or 15th century. The Key of Solomon is divided into two books. each packed with detailed instructions for summoning, binding, and controlling spiritual entities. The first book provides conjurations and invocations to compel spirits, angels, demons, or even the souls of the dead to fulfill the practitioner's desires. These rituals promise everything from recovering lost items to gaining love and influence. The second book focuses on the practitioner's preparation, demanding rigorous purification rituals. Fasting, prayer, and ritual bathing ensure spiritual readiness. Garments and magical tools must be crafted with exact specifications, from the materials used to the timing of their creation. Even the ink for inscribing symbols follows a specific recipe, underscoring the grimoire's emphasis on precision. A defining feature of the Key of Solomon is its insistence that all magical operations rely on divine authority. Invocations call upon the power of God to command spirits, and practitioners are instructed to confess their sins and seek divine protection before beginning any ritual. Without this, the text warns, the ritual may fail, or worse, backfire. The Key of Solomon has had a profound impact on Western occultism. Its intricate talismans and symbols designed for protection and wealth became foundational elements in ceremonial magic. Each seal requires absolute precision in its creation. Imperfections risk offending the spirits they are meant to control. Improper performance of its rituals could lead to catastrophic results, such as summoning entities the practitioner cannot command. For instance, rituals aimed at revealing hidden treasures are said to result in curses if performed incorrectly. These dangers, coupled with the grimoire's complexity, have cemented its reputation as a perilous text. The Grand Grimoire, also known as Le Dragon Rouge or the Red Dragon, is an infamous text said to contain explicit instructions on summoning demonic entities and making pacts with them. Though some editions claim it was written as early as 1421, scholars like Owen Davies suggest its true origins lie closer to 1702, with a widely circulated version published in 1750. Regardless of its exact date, its reputation as one of the most dangerous grimoires in occult history is undeniable. The Grand Grimoire is divided into two primary books. The first details how to summon Lucifer himself, or his Prime Minister, Lucifuge Rofocale, to form a pact. Practitioners are instructed to create specific tools, such as consecrated daggers, candles, and ceremonial robes under strict conditions. These tools are said to protect the summoner and compel the summoned entity to act according to their will. The text warns that any deviation from these steps can result in disastrous consequences, from summoning hostile entities to losing control of the ritual. The second book, Sanctum Rerum, Royal Blue, offers an alternative method for forming a pact without the protective tools described in the first book, significantly increasing the risks. This section also includes smaller spells found in its final part, titled Secrets, for practical purposes like attracting wealth or uncovering hidden treasures. However, even these simpler rituals require practitioners to have already summoned and bound a powerful entity. A particularly chilling feature of the Grand Grimoire is its hierarchy of demons. At the top stands Lucifer as Emperor, followed by Beelzebub as Prince and Astaroth as Grand Duke. Below them are 6 subordinate demons: Lucifuge Rofocale, Santanakia, Agaliarept, Fluriti, Sagatanus, and Nebiros. Each demon is assigned specific roles and powers, such as commanding legions of spirits, granting forbidden knowledge, or influencing human affairs. The Grand Grimoire stands apart from other grimoires for its explicit instructions on summoning and binding demonic entities, leaving little to the imagination. However, such power comes with grave risks. Mistakes in the rituals, or arrogance in dealing with these entities, are said to lead to possession, torment, or even death. One modern example of its lingering influence comes from a 2020 incident in London, where a man invoked Lucifuge Rofocale in a ritual, believing this would bring him wealth. He tragically committed murder in an effort to fulfill his pact. The Malleus Maleficarum, Latin for the Hammer of Witches, is one of the most infamous texts of the 15th century. Written in 1486 by Heinrich Kramer, a German Catholic clergyman, this manual played a significant role in fueling the witch hunts and the trials that terrorized Europe for centuries. Unlike other grimoires that focus on summoning the supernatural, the Malleus Maleficarum is dangerous because of the human suffering it directly caused. The book is divided into 3 sections. The first aims to prove the existence of witchcraft and its evil nature, claiming that witches were tools of the devil sent to subvert Christian society. The second section details their supposed practices, casting harmful spells, creating pacts with Satan, and wreaking havoc on the lives of innocent people. The third and most chilling part offers a guide to prosecution, including instructions on how to conduct trials, identify witches, and punish them. Kramer even advocated the use of torture to extract confessions, ensuring the convictions of those accused, often without evidence. The Malleus Maleficarum became the most influential book on witchcraft trials during its time, used as a handbook by inquisitors, judges, and even monarchs across Europe. It was widely disseminated thanks to the printing press, which enabled it to reach a much larger audience. The treatise became the foundation for many witch trials, leading to the persecution and execution of tens of thousands of people, mostly women, who were accused of being witches. The book played on the fears of the other, those who were different, whether due to gender, age, or social standing, and justified their persecution. What makes the Malleus Maleficarum especially dangerous is that it did not just encourage belief in witchcraft, it promoted action. The book's framework for witch trials gave it legitimacy to wild accusations, many of which were based on little more than personal vendettas or superstition. It created a toxic environment where neighbors turned against neighbors, and entire communities were torn apart by unfounded fears. Those who fell under suspicion were often tortured into confessions, leading to a vicious cycle of accusations and executions. The Malleus Maleficarum is infamous not only for the immediate suffering it caused by the long-lasting cultural impact it had. Its teachings on witchcraft were embraced by many, and its influence lingered for centuries, fueling witch hunts as late as the 18th century. The Codex Gigas, often referred to as the Devil's Bible, is one of the most fascinating and eerie manuscripts in the world. The massive medieval book is said to have been created in a single night with the devil's assistance, giving rise to its infamous nickname. The Codex Gigas is known not only for its size, measuring over 36 inches tall and weighing approximately 165 pounds, but also for the incredible legends surrounding its creation. The manuscript was created in the early 13th century, likely in a Benedictine monastery in Bohemia, modern-day Czech Republic. According to a popular legend, the book was written by a monk who, having been sentenced to death for breaking his monastic vows, made a pact with the devil. In exchange for his life, he promised to create a manuscript so magnificent and comprehensive that it would encompass all of knowledge of the time. The devil is said to have helped him complete the task in a single night, and thus the Codex Gigas came into existence. The manuscript contains a vast array of texts, including the entire Latin Bible, historical documents, medical texts, and even a section on exorcism. However, what truly distinguishes the Codex Gigas is its inclusion of a large, detailed portrait of the devil, known as the Devil's Portrait. This image shows a towering figure with horns, claws, and a grotesque face, a stark contrast to the religious texts contained within the book. The Codex Gigas also contains other occult texts and astrological charts that add to its air of mystery. Some believe that the book's inclusion of these materials, along with the legend of its creation, imbues it with dark, supernatural powers. Throughout history, it has been linked to various tales of misfortune, including fires, wars, and mysterious deaths, further cementing its reputation as a cursed object. Despite its ominous history, the Codex Gigas has survived centuries and is now housed in the National Library of Sweden. The Voynich Manuscript is one of the most mysterious and puzzling books in history. This undeciphered manuscript is filled with strange symbols, unidentifiable plants, and illustrations that do not correspond to any known language or species. Its purpose remains a mystery, and theories suggest it may contain hidden alchemical or magical secrets. The manuscript is named after Wilfrid Voynich, a Polish-American bookseller who discovered it in 1912. However, it is believed to have been created in the early 15th century, around 1404 to 1438. Its origin remains unclear, though it's thought to have been crafted in Europe by an unknown scholar or alchemist. Despite extensive study, no one has been able to decipher its text, which features a unique alphabet that has yet to be identified. The manuscript consists of several sections, each filled with perplexing content. The text, which seems to be written in a completely unknown language, adds to the manuscript's allure and confusion. Some believe it might be an ancient or lost language, while others think it could have been a deliberate hoax. The accompanying illustrations, depicting strange plants that don't match any known species, along with diagrams of celestial bodies, bathing women, and alchemical symbols, add another layer of intrigue. One theory surrounding the manuscript is that it contains instructions for alchemy or magical rituals. Alchemy was often associated with secretive, mystical practices during the medieval period, and some researchers believe the symbols might relate to alchemical formulas or processes. Others suggest it could be a book of spells or magical grimoire. The manuscript's complex symbolism continues to fuel speculation about its true purpose, with many believing it could reveal occult practices or arcane wisdom if decoded. The Voynich Manuscript's strange and unyielding nature has led to its reputation as one of the most mysterious and dangerous books in history. It is often associated with the idea of forbidden knowledge, with many believing that its true meaning could hold dangerous or powerful secrets if unlocked. The 6th and 7th books of Moses are often attributed to the biblical figure Moses, but scholars agree that these texts were likely written in the medieval period. These manuscripts are infamous for containing spells, incantations, and the rituals meant to summon spirits and grant supernatural abilities. They are considered dangerous due to their association with forbidden practices, particularly within Jewish and Christian traditions, where such magic is traditionally condemned. These texts are known for their detailed instructions on summoning angels and demons and performing rituals to control natural forces. The books are often referred to as magical books because they offer guidance on interacting with the supernatural, granting practitioners powers over spirits, the elements, and even fate itself. The summoning of both angels and demons plays a significant role in the texts, contributing to their dark reputation. Though they claim to be authored by Moses, the manuscripts have no actual connection to the biblical figure. Instead, they reflect medieval interest in esoteric and occult knowledge, drawing on mystical traditions like Kabbalah, Christian mysticism, and alchemy. These texts mix alchemical symbols, divine invocations, and magical practices to provide the practitioner with control over both the physical and spiritual realms. The rituals in these books are said to grant the ability to manipulate nature, communicate with the dead, and even predict the future. One of the most dangerous aspects of these texts is their use of sacred names and symbols, which are believed to summon divine and infernal forces. This blending of divine power with dark magic is what has caused the books to be labeled as black magic and forbidden. Due to their promotion of spirit summoning and manipulation of supernatural forces, these books were long condemned by religious authorities. They were viewed as blasphemous and spiritually corrupting, particularly as they placed the practitioner in direct contact with the powers that were believed to be beyond human control. Over the centuries, the 6th and 7th books of Moses became associated with witchcraft and heresy, and those who sought to use them risked persecution. The Book of Soyga is a cryptic and enigmatic manuscript famously linked to John Dee, the 16th century scholar, mathematician, and occultist who served as an advisor to Queen Elizabeth I. Dee's deep interest in mysticism and the occult made the Book of Soyga one of his most fascinating and unsettling discoveries. The manuscript is shrouded in mystery, with its references to forbidden spiritual knowledge and indecipherable text fueling its dark reputation. The origins of the Book of Soyga remain unknown, though it is believed to date back to the late Middle Ages. Written in Latin, the manuscript includes tables of coded letters, astrological charts, and references to magical practices. Much of the text is incomprehensible even to experts, as it uses complex cipher that has yet to be fully decoded. Dee, convinced that the book contained divine secrets, dedicated years of study to unlocking its meaning. He believed it held instructions for summoning angels, accessing higher planes of existence, and understanding the universe's hidden forces. What sets the Book of Soyga apart is its connection to forbidden spiritual practices. Certain passages, which Dee found particularly troubling, are said to hint at dangerous rituals and esoteric knowledge. Fearing the risks of misinterpreting the book's content, Dee turned to his scryer, Edward Kelly, for help in deciphering its cryptic messages. Kelly claimed to communicate with angelic beings during his seances, and Dee hoped their guidance could reveal the manuscript's secrets. One of the book's most mysterious features is a series of 36 magical tables filled with what appear to be random letters. These tables have confounded cryptographers for centuries, with theories suggesting they represent an angelic language, divine codes, or alchemical formulas. The sheer complexity of the manuscript has led some to label it Grimoire, or a book of magical rituals. Dee, however, believed it to be more than a guide to magic. He saw it as a guide to understanding the divine order of the universe. The manuscript's cryptic nature and its ties to John Dee's intense study of the occult have cemented its reputation as a dangerous text. For Dee, the Book of Soyga symbolized both the promise of enlightenment and the peril of delving too deeply into forbidden knowledge. While its exact contents remain a mystery, the manuscript continues to intrigue modern scholars, occult enthusiasts, and cryptographers who hope to unlock its secrets. The Picatrix is a medieval manual on astrology and magic, infamous for its detailed instructions on harnessing cosmic forces. Originally written in Arabic in the 10th or 11th century under the title Gayat al-Hakim, meaning the goal of the wise, it was translated into Latin in the 12th century, spreading its influence across Europe, combining astrology, alchemy, and esoteric philosophy. It serves as both a practical guide and a mystical exploration of the universe. This text is unparalleled in its scope, offering a vast compendium of astrological knowledge intertwined with magical practices. It teaches practitioners how to channel the energies of celestial bodies to achieve worldly desires, from wealth and health to protection and influence. Detailed instructions on crafting talismans emphasize precise timing, aligning rituals with planetary movements, and using specific materials believed to resonate with cosmic forces. These methods were thought to draw power from the stars, granting practitioners the ability to alter their fate and control the natural world. One of its most controversial aspects is the inclusion of the dangerous and morally questionable rituals. The text describes ceremonies requiring animal sacrifices, the preparation of complex potions, and the invocation of spiritual entities. Many substances derived from toxic plants or alchemical mixtures were believed to amplify the effects of magical operations but carried significant physical risks. The explicit focus on summoning spirits, both benevolent and malevolent, led to its condemnation by religious authorities who saw it as heretical and dangerous. Beyond practical instructions, the manuscript delves into philosophy, reflecting the intellectual currents of its time. It explores the idea that the universe is interconnected, with celestial forces influencing earthly events and human behavior. Practitioners are portrayed as mediators, bridging the gap between the heavens and the physical world. This worldview blended Neoplatonic philosophy, Hermetic ideas, and Aristotelian cosmology, creating a system that sought to explain the mysteries of existence. The book also stands as a testament to the exchange of knowledge between the Islamic world and medieval Europe. Created during the Islamic Golden Age, it reflects a time when science, philosophy, and mysticism thrived. Its Latin translation introduced European scholars to its teachings, which later influenced Renaissance magicians such as Marsilio Ficino and Cornelius Agrippa, who adapted its astrological and magical principles into their work. Despite its intellectual depth, misuse of the rituals described within was believed to result in disastrous consequences. Practitioners who failed to properly align their ceremonies with celestial movements or underestimated the forces they invoked risked spiritual and physical harm. These warnings, combined with the detailed nature of its instructions, cemented its reputation as one of the most dangerous grimoires of its kind. Le Grand Albert and Petit Albert are two of the most infamous grimoires to emerge from 17th and 18th century France. These texts serve as repositories of occult knowledge, blending practical magic, natural science, and esoteric rituals. Their controversial content, ranging from spells to summoned spirits to recipes for magical talismans, cemented their notoriety among religious authorities and laypeople alike. The Grand Albert is traditionally attributed to Albertus Magnus, a 13th century scholar and theologian celebrated for his groundbreaking work in natural sciences. However, the actual authorship is widely disputed, with historians agreeing that later writers used Magnus's name to give the book an air of legitimacy. Its content reflects the Renaissance fascination with both science and mysticism. The book offers guidance on a wide range of topics, including herbal remedies, astrology, and charms. Many of its intentions were intended to harness the natural world's hidden properties, such as crafting potions for love, warding off misfortune, or influencing one's fate. The Petit Albert, written in the following century, complements its predecessor but delves deeper into the realm of folk magic. It is a more practical and accessible guide containing recipes for alchemical preparations, methods to locate hidden treasures, and even rituals to manipulate emotions or control others. One of its most notorious chapters describes the creation of the Hand of Glory, a talisman created from the hand of an executed criminal, said to immobilize anyone who encountered it. This darker focus made the Petit Albert particularly infamous, drawing both fascination and fear from its readers. Despite their practical tone, these grimoires became symbols of transgression in their time. They were condemned by the Church, which viewed them as tools of sorcery and a gateway to spiritual corruption. Their possession could lead to accusations of witchcraft, with harsh consequences for those caught using them. Bans were placed on their circulation in various regions, yet these efforts only increased their allure, as their secrecy added to their mystique. What sets these texts apart is their blend of scientific curiosity and mystical belief. Unlike many grimoires that focused exclusively on summoning spirits or invoking supernatural forces, these books also emphasized natural philosophy. Their pages contain remedies for common ailments, advice on planting crops, and guidance on navigating life's uncertainties. This combination of the practical and the magical made them popular not only among occult practitioners, but also among rural communities seeking answers in an unpredictable world. The legacy of the Grand Albert and Petit Albert extends far beyond their original publications. Their influence can be seen in later European grimoires, which borrowed from their formulas and rituals. Today, they are studied as cultural artifacts, offering insight into the blend of fear, superstition, and wonder that defined early modern Europe. Though fictional, the Necronomicon has become one of the most infamous and feared books in modern mythology. First introduced by H.P. Lovecraft in 1924, it is said to contain forbidden rituals, ancient secrets, and the power to summon cosmic entities far beyond human comprehension. Attributed to the mysterious Abdul al-Hazred, the so-called Mad Arab, the text is believed to have been written after its author delved into knowledge so arcane it shattered his sanity. Within its pages are said to lie instructions for summoning beings like Cthulhu, Nyarlathotep, and Yog-Sothoth, entities of unimaginable power that exist outside human understanding. The book also contains warnings about these rituals, stating that even reading the text is perilous. Its passages are said to reveal truths that break the minds of those who dare to comprehend them, as the reader is forced to confront the insignificance of humanity in a universe governed by chaotic, otherworldly forces. The origins of the text within Lovecraft's mythos are equally sinister. According to the legend, Abdul al-Hazred wrote it after exploring the lost city of Irem and the Nameless Desert, locations said to hold secrets of forgotten gods. He met a grisly end, torn apart by unseen forces in broad daylight, fueling the belief that the Necronomicon is cursed. Although Lovecraft explicitly stated that the text was a fictional creation, its detailed descriptions and integration into his stories blurred the line between myth and reality. Over time, supposed real editions of the Necronomicon began to surface. Some were elaborate hoaxes designed to mimic ancient grimoires, while others were creative reinterpretations by occult enthusiasts. These fabricated versions added to its mystique, with some readers claiming to experience strange phenomena after attempting the rituals described within. The themes surrounding this legendary grimoire, madness, forbidden knowledge, and cosmic insignificance resonate deeply, capturing humanity's primal fear of delving into the unknown. The idea of a book so powerful it can warp reality or summon incomprehensible forces taps into our collective anxieties about curiosity and its consequences. Stories persist of those who dared to replicate its supposed rituals, only to face unexplained disasters or bouts of madness. So, why are these books so dangerous? Each one offers a window into knowledge that tempts the mind but comes at a cost, whether it's spiritual corruption, societal fear, or an eternal question of what we're not meant to know. From summoning spirits to unlocking forbidden secrets, these texts challenge the boundaries of human understanding, leaving us to wonder, how far would you go to uncover the truth?